What's up, guys? Welcome back, man, to the latest edition of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and let me give myself a negative comment. I keep forgetting to bring the towel with me to Terrible Towel Tuesday. I don't understand how I do that. Every single week I forget to bring the towel and put it along my shoulder. So I apologize for that. Don't have the towel with me, guys, but we're still going to go ahead and make it do what it do. So let me make sure everything is coming through. Definitely seems like everything is coming through. And let's go ahead and make it happen, guys. So welcome to the latest edition of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and it's time to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Training camp has opened up. They've had 5 practices, if I'm not mistaken. And some good things that we're hearing about the defense, man. Even hearing some good things about some of the running backs. A couple bad things about the running backs. Got a few injuries that they're dealing with. So we're going to take a look at some of that. Let me go ahead and pull up some of the injury information, guys. And, you know, from what I'm hearing, it's not that significant. But let me pull that up really, really quick and allow a few more of you guys to get in here and post your questions and things like that. And, you know, I'll be happy to give you my thoughts. But give me just a second, guys. Unprepared with this particular piece of information here, but I'll grab it for you in just a moment. All right, so here we are, guys. So some, you know, quick injuries to talk about. You know, the main one I definitely want to talk about, man. You know, we can't forget about our boy, you know, the Big Ragu, Ramon Foster. Yeah, man. They said it was, you know, it looked pretty bad in training camp when it happened, but actually there was great news the next day. They're saying it's a knee injury. I believe it's his left knee. I'm not sure if it's a left or right, but one of his knees. Basically, they're saying it's a hyperextension and he has a bone bruise. Estimated time to be out is about 4 weeks or so, per the reports, per what Mike Tomlin said as well. They're not expecting him to miss any of the regular season, but of course he will be. Looks like he will be missing some action in the you know, in the preseason, and it is what it is. It's Big Ragu. You know, he knows what he's doing. I don't think we necessarily need him out there. But, of course, guys, you know, anytime you have anybody who's not out there on the field, you know, that's definitely not what you want to hear, so to speak. Some other injury news, guys, as we leave Ramon Foster up there on the screen. T.J. Watt has a little bit of a hamstring. Sean Davis is dealing with some groin injury. Vance McDonald. And let's stay on Vance McDonald for a moment. Listen, man, some people I think are just injury plagued. It happens. It happens. I don't know what to say about it, but it happens. It seems like Vance McDonald just can't stay healthy, man, and it's not just with the Steelers. You know, he experienced some of that early in his career with the Niners. Probably one of the reasons why they were, you know, willing to trade when they did. But it's a little disappointing, man, because Vance McDonald has had a numerous amount of things that's plagued him, you know, whether it's a foot or a back or a neck or a shoulder, I believe. If this guy can stay healthy, man, he could be a weapon for the Steelers. You look at what he did in the Jacksonville playoffs, even though it's hard to reminisce on that because we lost the game, but, you know, McDonald had 10 catches for over 100 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Vance McDonald's the type of guy that can stretch the field a bit. You know, of course, he's not a blazer, you know, like we wanted or what we thought we were going to get out of Ladarius Green, but he's shown us in spurts what he can do. He developed into a better blocker as well against the run, well, for the run when he was in the game. You know, some of the numbers showed that, you know, if you go back and dissect last season, some of the better production we had on the ground was when McDonald was out there. So he's clearly showing himself as being a valuable, you know, valuable component, if you will. But he's got to stay healthy. And again, we don't know how this man's body reacts or any other player. Some players, they just go through injury, and there's some players that are fortunate enough to not be as injured or healthy more than not. Couple other wrinkles, man, that I'm hearing about, and I've seen a little bit with some of the footage that's coming out from training camp. Fichtner's doing some things with Vance McDonald with the tight end, spreading them out, putting them in the slot and things like that. He seems to have an emphasis on getting the tight ends the ball, which I love that. But again, if Vance McDonald can't stay healthy, it kind of shoots that whole effort in the foot. No pun intended there. So we also got Ala Adenayi, if I'm saying his name correctly. I cannot pronounce his first name. I just know it's Ala or Ola. You know, the undrafted free agent kid out of Toledo, I believe. They said he was doing a couple things in the first couple of practices, but, you know, he has an undisclosed injury, even though I did see on Twitter, you know, the old Twitter machine, the most reliable source. You know, Alex Kazua, shout outs to Alex if he sees this, man. Great beat writer over there, Steelers Depot. He tweeted him, and Ola responded back to him saying, yeah, I'm Gucci, basically saying it's all good. So we'll see, you know, if the day off today will permit some of these guys to get back on the field. You know, Tomlin has said none of this stuff is significant. Great news. Morgan Burnett is another one that's been out, and he hasn't really done much at all in any of the 5 practices, let alone putting the pads on. And Juju Smith-Schuster. You know, Juju seems to have something going on with his knee. And then, you know, after some of the good day he's had, Artie Burns. Artie Burns, you know, is unable to finish yesterday's practice after a great breakup against Antonio Brown. I'm hearing some good things about Artie so far, him and Joe Hayden. But, you know, just little knickknacks. And these are the things that you expect, guys. You know, they haven't played tackle football in months. So these little things happen. I'm just glad to hear that it's not anything really significant except for Ramon Foster, which, you know, seems like we've dodged a little bit of a bullet there with it not being a major injury. All right, so we're done with Ramon Foster here, guys. Let's talk about James Conner as he flexes the guns right there. Listen, man, we're hearing some good things out of James Conner, or out of training camp, in regards to James Conner. They said he came in a lot slimmer. You know, I've seen pictures, and, you know, I don't know if I can judge it from pictures, but he definitely looks like he's in a more refined James Conner. Kind of think about how Le'Veon Bell kind of transformed his body, you know, year 1 and 2. You kind of looking like you're seeing a little more tight, you know, more of a, you know, more built physique, I guess you would call it. You know, I don't want to get all critical in analyzing this man's body, but y'all know what I'm saying. He looks like he's a little more sleek, a little more lean, a little more muscle tone, or what have you. Seems to be a little quicker from what everyone is saying. And speaking of being quick, he broke out for a 55-yard touchdown yesterday. Now, I talk about Joe Hayden, but I have to pick on Joe Hayden here. If you look at the play, you know, some people posted it on Twitter. And shout outs to all of you guys, man. I don't know if any of you guys watching this are actually attending training camp, but shout outs to all of you guys who are at training camp and posting pictures, posting videos. You know, I can speak for Steeler Nation. We definitely appreciate that, man, for those of us who are not at training camp. But they showed a run, man, where he, you know, cuts to the right side. I don't know if it was right off, you know, might have been off tackle, or if it was like an inside run or what have you. Makes Joe Hayden miss. Joe Hayden goes in for the tackle and whiffs on it. And then he beats Burhay, I believe, you know, to the end zone. Burhay never really had a chance on it with the angle it looks like he was attempting to play. But, you know, it shows some nice pop out of James Conner. I'm loving that. Because, obviously, we know Le'Veon Bell is going to be the workhorse, the bell cow, so to speak, pun intended. But, you know, we're going to need a backup guy. And not only just a backup guy that can spell Bell at times, but somebody that we can kind of feel confident in going into next season, being as though it seems at this moment this will be the last season for Le'Veon Bell. So I'm definitely rooting for James Conner for a lot of reasons, man. You know, for his health, his past issues with illness and things like that. You know, what a great story if he can turn out to be something truly great, you know, or, you know, at least just a solidified running back for the Steelers, you know, after playing in Pitt. You know, what a storybook type of situation there. Again, you know, don't want to speak up with his ailment he had with his health off of the field, because, you know, I don't like to speak things in existence, but we all know his story. What a great story, you know. So rooting for him, man, and hopefully he can stay healthy, you know, let alone the other, you know, ailment he had, you know, the injury last year with the knee. So hopefully he's back to where we want him to be, and that'll be great news. So, guys, let's see. Next on the docket, you know, let's talk a little bit about what I'm referring to with the defense. You know, in the title, I said defense versus the offense. So let's start off with this guy once again. Terrell Edmunds, you know, our rookie safety. 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions already, guys, in training camp. And one of them, you know, with, again, shout outs to those posting video footage, against Ben Roethlisberger. You know, it was a pass going to Vance McDonald. Terrell Edmonds gets in there, bats it up, you know, and kind of bobbles it a little bit and brings it in, takes it the other way. But they said, you know, he's recorded 2 interceptions in the last 2 days, so he's basically averaging a pick per day since the pads have come on. This is what I like to hear. Also, what I like to see is the fact that he was covering Vance McDonald. We all know the problems our safeties have had with tight ends. So, hey, anything that I can hear about our safeties doing any type of great job against a tight end, hip, hip, hooray is all I can say. You know what I mean? So, great news. But, yeah, man, hearing a lot about that defense, man. Joe Hayden is saying has shown some, you know, good coverage skills and blanketing Antonio Brown. Obviously, Antonio Brown is still Antonio Brown. He's making some phenomenal plays. You know, they showed a one-hand catch he made, double covered. He's still, you know, beating guys when he needs to, but it's good to see that, you know, the degree of separation isn't as wide anymore. Even with Artie Burns, they're saying that Artie Burns, you know, is definitely not getting beat up as much as he once did in prior training camps. It's more so now he's settling in. A lot of the guys that, you know, speaking around him are saying he looks focused. Again, and I, you know, sorry, Artie Burns, I forgot to throw your picture up in here, so don't hold it against me if you happen to see this video. But yeah, man, they say Artie Burns is doing some things, and again, there's video footage out there where he made a great breakup against Antonio Brown. I believe they were doing 7 shots. You know, trying to get into the end zone, played it right, you know, face guarded him, rolled him into the end zone, last minute goes up, bats it away. That's the type of stuff, man, we're going to need out of our corners. You know, if we can get some outstanding or, you know, serviceable coverage along with some solid pass rush, you know, I think we have a chance to do something. Honestly, man, if we can get the pass rush going even just a little bit, hey, sky's the limit, because that's really all the Steelers need. Is they need that complement. They need some front end to complement the back end. But if the back end is playing strong, then that's just an added bonus. Let me see. Anybody else I want to mention that I'm hearing about defensively? Matthew Thomas. They said Matthew Thomas is making some splashes here and there. He got an interception yesterday, from what was reported. They're saying he's showing a lot of will to do. He's showing some sideline to sideline capability. However, man, I think it's going to be really tough. I think it's going to be tough for certain guys to make the squad because, you know, even though we are not that deep, there's still depth in those positions. You know, are the Steelers going to keep 5 middle linebackers for the 53-man or 4? We don't know. You know, we already know that it's going to be guys like, obviously, Vince Williams and Metakevich, Bostic. After that, you would think L.J. Fort is probably the next in line in rotation. And then after that, you're going to have a guy like Matthew Thomas and Kelsey and guys like that. But, you know, this is what it's all about. Competition across the board. Even at the safety position, you know, they're saying that guys are doing their thing. And with Morgan Burnett being out, I actually appreciate that because it gives Edmonds more reps, as well as Sean Davis, you know, taking a day or so off. There's more reps there as well. So I'm loving the fact that the rookies are out there getting the opportunity. But there's some depth at safety. You know, again, how good the safety depth is, we'll find out. But there are numbers there. You know, again, you got Edmonds, you got Davis. Who am I forgetting? Burnett, Burhay, Marcus Allen, Dangerfield, if I'm not mistaken, is still on the squad. So it's, you know, how many safeties are they going to keep versus cornerbacks? You know, is Brian Allen going to be a lock to make the roster at cornerback? We'll see. Some of these guys, you know, some of the younger guys may end up getting pushed to the practice squad, but we'll see what happens. All right, now the next thing as far as defense, man, I got to show some love to Mr. Dirty Red. Say Dirty Red is, you know, showing himself to be pretty well. You know, so far he's leading in terms of depth chart. Now, we know that doesn't mean much. I think by the time the preseason first and 2 games come around, and once they're in the books and that depth chart comes out, I think that's pretty much going to tell you who the starter will be. We'll see. This is the most excited I have been in a long time, man, to watch preseason, because I know it's going to be some fireworks. You understand what I'm saying? There's going to be some things happening that, yeah, competition. You know, competition makes everybody better. So I'm not hearing pretty much anything negative about the inside linebackers so far. I mean, everybody's going to have their little nuanced, you know, knick-knack things that you might not like, but I'm hearing very positive things about the names that we should be talking about, both inside linebacker as well as safety. Outside linebacker, hearing that, you know, Keon Adams is showing, you know, a good first step, good hand usage. Haven't heard much information in regards to actual pass rush, because I don't know if there's been a lot of those drills yet as far as team drills. But, you know, not really hearing anything negative about him nor Bud Dupree. And, you know, shout outs again to Alex and Dave Bryant over at Steelers Depot. They said on their podcast that, you know, you got to give Bud Dupree a gold star for, you know, being healthy. You know, that's one thing he hasn't been able to do is, you know, stay healthy. So for him being healthy still so far 5 days in is a blessing. But outside of that, guys, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I may have missed. And I'll get Dirty Red out of here. One other side piece of information. Le'Veon Bell. So there's a video that came out, was posted on Twitter today. You know, Le'Veon Bell is in a strip club, not sure where. And, you know, and shout outs to Dave again at Steelers Depot, making light of it, making fun of it. Hilarious, you know, stuff with the gifts and things like that. But basically, you know, he's in the strip club. He has both hands literally palming, you know, the stripper's butt or what have you. She's naked, so I'm assuming, you know, not trying to tell on myself, but, you know, at one time, you know, I have gone to, you know, said establishments, and usually those in the South are the ones where they could be, you know, totally naked. So just judging by the scene and the money on the floor, I'm thinking he's probably in Miami, perhaps Atlanta. That's where I would assume he's at. But again, that's another conversation for another day. But basically, you know, and people are making a big deal out of it. And I'm like, listen, first and foremost, the thing with social media is everybody is in your business and they feel like they control your business, and they feel like their business or your business is their business. Who cares? I could care less what he's doing right now. And in the whole he should be in camp, I get it, but he's not in camp, and we all know why. He's playing under the franchise tag. He's not going to risk injury. I get it. I don't happen to, you know, have to agree, but I understand what's going on here. But I'm not going to blame this guy for living life. You know what I'm saying? He's not breaking any rules at the moment. Would I like him to be at training camp? Sure. You know, would I like him to be a guy that says, I'm going to go ahead and sign the franchise tag, get on in there and practice? Sure. But can I blame him for not doing so or doing exactly what he did last year? No, I cannot. But regardless of that, these guys can have a personal life. I'm pretty sure some of you guys watching this have gone to a strip club. Hey, you might still go to a strip club. Hey, some of you guys might be waiting until Friday so you can go to the strip club. I just don't understand it, man. We treat these folks as if they can't do anything. You know, just because we see their job on display, let's not act like they got to be perfect in every aspect. And let's not act like these guys don't have the right to live their lives as they see fit. It has nothing to do with us. You know, you can judge all you want, but you really shouldn't do that. You know, have your quick opinion and that's it. It's none of my business. You know what I mean? So I didn't think nothing of it. I don't think that affects in any shape, way, shape, or form will that affect his playing on the football field. So just wanted to throw that little thing in there. Is there anything else I got? I don't think so. So, you know, as we're now 21 minutes or so in, let's go ahead and take a look and see what you guys have to say, and then we can get up out of here. So let's see what you guys talking about, man. We'll start from the top. And, you know, I'm kidding myself thinking I could read every comment. So guys, I'm just gonna, go through a few of them here and there, and we'll read some, and then we'll be done. So let's see. Kelvin Colbert, fancy name there. He says he likes what he's seeing from Connor. So do I. Really like what I'm seeing from him so far. What's up to my brother Tony? We'll be talking soon, brother. Let's see. Maurice Ware said, what's up all the way from Alabama? And Colbert said he's in Memphis. Shout outs to you guys, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in to watch and hear what I have to say, as well as, hey, man, there's always love when it's fellow Steelers fans. Let's see. Michael Johnson says, first time to listen live. Thanks for all you do. Listen, man, thank you for all you're doing and listening in. I got to give you great applause there. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's give you a round of applause, man, and all of you guys. That's for all of you guys that tune in, man, because I definitely know that you guys don't have to do it. So I appreciate and love all of you guys for that. Let's see. Somebody was asking about Dez Bryant. Where is that comment? Because I will talk about that really quick. Don't see it anymore, even though I know one of you asked that question. So let me just address that. I mean, what is Dez Bryant at this moment? And understand what I'm saying here. I'm not trying to slight Dez. I'm just saying, what are we expecting to get from him if we were to go that route? I think Dez right now is probably more of a possession, maybe slot guy. The reason why I say that, because I don't know if he beats out, he's definitely not beating out Antonio Brown, but on the opposite side, at the Z, does he beat Juju if they decide to put Juju out there? Or can he beat out James Washington, a young guy you think would be a little fresher? I don't know. So it seems like maybe you would use Dez Bryant in situational football perhaps, or maybe slide him inside at times and try to create a mismatch with his size, because he's not the fastest guy. He's never been a burner. I just don't know what he is right now. He doesn't come in and start, in my opinion, unless he just, comes in and kicking the door down. But, hey, we need depth. We don't know what Eli Rogers is bringing, coming off of his injury. If you can get Dez for the right price, why not? I just don't know if the right price is what, he's going to accept from the Steelers. So that's my quick thoughts on that. Let's see. Cesar Diaz says, hey, love the show. Who do you think the camp phenom is going to be this year? I don't know, man. It might be Edmonds. According to how the reports we're hearing, it might be Terrell Edmonds. Let's keep our eyes out on that. I don't know if anybody else will surprise us. I would look for one of the new guys, but I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go with one that some of us can say would be obvious and would be a good treat. I'll say Terrell Edmonds, which he's already flashing already with his 2 interceptions. And by the way, guys, Artie Burns has had 2 interceptions, both pick sixes, by the way. Let's go out on a limb and say Matthew Thomas. Matthew Thomas might show us something in camp as well as in preseason games. Let's keep an eyeball out on him. Hey, Debbie, how you doing? It's been a while. How have you been? Appreciate you coming by. Says Vance is a better catcher than Jesse. Perhaps. They both have had drop issues. So I'll be fair and say I can't call that one at the moment. Let's see. You said Juju is good. Did you see that stutter go? No, I didn't, man. You talk about the last practice. I must have missed it, but I know, I know all of the injury stuff that we're hearing is like minor. So I don't know if you're referring to before or after that. But, yeah, I think they're all good to go. Yeah, Todd says, Ben is slimmer also. Just looking for some good things this season as a team. Yeah, man, Ben said the whole infamous, I'm in the best shape of my life, which I find that hard to believe at 36. There's no way you're in better shape than what you were in at 20, 21 years old. I'm just saying, just busting his chops. But he does look better. He's slimmed down a little bit. Maybe he's serious about trying to, ride it out and play some more years. We'll see. See what else we got here. My man Young Dom 412 makes an interesting point. He says Burns has been nice. He just had Mike Mitchell behind him. Not good. Hey man, I mean, you could make a case for that, because a lot of times, a lot of the times when we've been burnt the most, it's been cover 3, cover 2 type situation. Artie has an issue where, at least what it seems to us watching, is he has a little issue with peeking in the backfield. But, was he getting the best safety help? Not all the time. So, I mean, you could have a case. We'll see. Again, if you guys paid attention to Artie Burns' last few games, man, Artie was making some plays. He made some plays in the Jacksonville game, gave up a big play in the Jacksonville game as well. They even asked him about that the other day. He said, some of them said, well, was it Joe Hayden's responsibility? If you guys remember, it was that play where the safeties in the corner switched, and Joe Hayden went deep, and the corner, the safety came up, and they were saying maybe Hayden was supposed to get there, but Artie Burns took the brunt of it and said, hey, it's my fault. I respect him for that. Leon Harris, maybe. I know they have tried him. Mike Hilton at safety, as well as they, put Cam Sutton out there. I think it's more so just to see the versatility. I myself don't think they need to move Mike Hilton to safety, and here's why. We do that. Who's the slot corner? Cam Sutton? Maybe. But I guess what I'm saying is there enough evidence from us fans that we would want Hilton to move? I don't want that. I think there's enough safeties out there. Get the job done. That's how I feel. So, those are my thoughts there. Oh, man. We got a donation, guys. We got to give a shout out to Mariano Papa. Let's give him a big round of applause. Salutes to you, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate the donation, man. You guys are way too kind, man. I definitely appreciate that. Appreciate you, man, to the fullest for that donation. And I know some of you, and I hate saying this, man, but I know some of you guys have always asked, how do I donate if I want to? If that's something that you're wanting to do, you just click on the little $ there down at the bottom of the chat. And that's how you do it. And I believe you can set up, your own method, whether it's PayPal or something like that. But for those of you that ask, because I get asked all the time, I'm just not one of those people that's like trying to ask for stuff. If you want to donate, great. I greatly appreciate it, but I'm not the guy that's gonna, hey guys, shoot me a donation. But there's the information in case you want to know how. All right, so we'll take a look at a couple more of these guys. I'm looking at my time, and I'm gonna have to get out of here in a moment. C-Rock Seahawk says, Chargers still have Casey Hayward and Desmond King on the outside with Tim Williams in the nickel. That's a great cornerback set. It is, and I don't mind, talking a little bit about another team. I'll tell you another team that looks a little scary. And shout outs to my boy Azure Fact. He knows who he is. His team, the Tennessee Titans. I'm seeing Malcolm Butler is making some plays out there, and they got Butler, Logan Ryan, and Adoree Jackson. That is a very promising cornerback group in terms of your 1, 2, and slot. Yeah. And let's keep our eyes on them. And they got some other guys out there, for a sub package. So the Titans ain't playing no games out there. So let me see. What else? Look at that. Tony said the same thing about the Titans. Debbie says she thinks Le'Veon Bell is practicing on his grip. Oh, man. Let's see. What else we got? Is putting the transition tag on Bell an actual option, basically making him a restricted free agent? It is. It is an option, but I don't think the Steelers would do it. I can't speak for them, but I would like to think that they're not that shady. What I mean by that is you're just delaying the process. You're not going to retain Le'Veon Bell because you're not going to come up off of the money that he's wanting. However, I wanted to point this out, man, and me and Tony talked about this last week. And again, guys, if you're not listening or following the Terrible podcast with Dave and Dave and SteelersDepot.com. I don't know what to tell you. They always come up with some great information, and they dissect things. They're more beat writers than I am. You know, this is my hobby. I can't commit my every day to it. Those guys do, and they know a lot of information. Dave Bryant particularly, he knows how the numbers works, and you know the cap space. He knows all that crap, right? So he basically said when you analyze Todd Gurley's deal, he actually only got a little over 2021 as a fully guaranteed. He said that the other guarantees will come from other things, so it's virtually guaranteed, virtually guaranteeing him $45 million. But it goes back to what I was saying about Le'Veon Bell's deal. That Steelers do the same thing. I don't know the workings and the structure and how the Rams did it, but the Steelers do the same thing with stuff like giving you the signing bonus as you're fully guaranteed right away, and then virtually guaranteeing the rest, like if you're on the roster next year, and then if you make it to this far in the season, and if you show up for this, and those type of things. And that's how Le'Veon Bell was going to pretty much be guaranteed $33 million for the first 2 years, $70 million, of course, if he makes it throughout his 5-year contract. But again, just goes to show you that the Gurley's deal wasn't fully guaranteed, you know, as far as no injury clause, nothing like that, at $45 million, but he's virtually going to get that. I think he's in a better situation with him being 23, actually turning 24 later this week. I think his birthday is August 4th. He's probably going to definitely play out that contract. So great situation for him to be in. You know, he's going to play that out, be 27, 28 years old after making $60 million, you would expect, if his production stays up, and then shoot, maybe he decides he don't want to play anymore. Heck of a career, right? So shout outs to Todd Gurley, man. But yeah, that's about all I got, guys. I think that's going to be the last thing. And yes, Kenya, we definitely need to. We could definitely talk about that at some point. You, Tony, and I, yeah, we definitely think a lot alike. And I'm sure, you know, just speaking on Tony's behalf, I'm sure we would click just like that. So yeah, man, we'll have to make that happen. That's it. I don't have anything else. Let's continue to watch. They start practicing again tomorrow. Let's look to see who's going to stand out. I'm getting excited for training camp. For preseason, because I just can't wait to see these guys in action. And I will answer this last question. They say resend the tag on Bell. And shout outs to Billy Urso. Resend the tag on Bell. Sign Dez 1 year and fill voids on defense. Man, anything is possible, but don't expect a resend of the tag. I just don't see it. Who else is out there to fill the void? However, when cuts start happening, don't be surprised, because Kevin Colbert also said that he's not opposed to bringing in another inside backer and more than likely a pass rusher. So it's going to be interesting as the fat gets trimmed later on to see who gets cut, who's a cap casualty. They're talking about John Simon being a guy to keep an eye on. So let's see. So there you go. But all right, guys, that's going to do it for this particular show. We'll put a bow on this one. Like always, got to do some shameless plugging here, so give me about 20 seconds. If you haven't already, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click on those notifications so you're fully aware of the next video. And I promise it will never hurt you to hit the like button. All right, guys, that is going to do it. Before we get out of here, let's get it. Here we go, Steelers. And we'll catch you next week on Terrible Towel Tuesday. Peace.